I'm not exactly sure if I am or not. And right there, the this right here says start streaming. What the heck, man? Start streaming. How's that? I think I done messed something up. Do. You can't even see a camera through there, man. What's going on? Can you? Wasn't supposed to be doing that, so I got it going on two separate things here. This ain't right, so I got to stop this one right here. Dude, right. OBS currently will be no. All right, I don't know what I just did. No, I guess I don't. Chris Anderson. Hey, how's it going, Chris? Look, I had some computer crash. Three computer crashes. I'm trying to get everything reset up so that whenever I go live for YouTube and everything, then you know, it's all in. So I'm trying to see on video. Trying to see what I can do. So I'm like testing the waters at the moment. And I know we're supposed to be giving me that option. So I don't know what to do about that. I wonder if I can just use that software alone. I gotta learn how to use this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? It says the OBS is being used. That's the OBS software that I got on there. How you like my picture there? That's after the wormhole incident, you know, the interdimensional blooper kind of thing. Well, let me go see if I my doggone regular YouTube and see if I can even see myself. I don't even know. It's probably freezing up, and I don't even know how it looks. Can't see myself because it don't show me what I was looking at. Well, it does right there. Never mind. I told you it's going to be crazy. Crazy time. Crazy time. Let me see here. I'm going to watch myself over here on this other computer, if it works. Breaker 19 for radio check. Huh. Well, looks like it's going. Breaker 19 for radio check. Huh. Ain't so bad. I ought to stop that so I don't jack up the. Hello there. Hi. I can't even pronounce it. I can't see it. Sorry. Let me get my magnifying glass out. So I got to be a way I can stretch that screen out so I can see. HYDNIQ. How do you pronounce that? Audio good. Thanks. Well, up and organized and sorted out so that or whatever, dead, burn it, here I am. Okay, see, now I got everything all out of whack. Put this up here for a second. That's a little bitty little tripod. It's it'll have to work for the moment. Look at that. I got my hair all jacked up. I'm gonna put this over here, that way I ain't looking over there. Try to see if I'm even on the doggone screen, man. So yeah, that's a mess up in here. This isn't my new lab, and I'm just trying to get some stuff sorted out because That computer crashed this morning. That computer crashed this morning. And that one crashed this morning. Where's it at? There you are. Over there. That one. This one is now no longer Microsoft. This is a doggone Linux. Microsoft sucks. There's Microsoft over there. See, this one here was a RAM issue. This one there was stick and hard drive issue. And that one there was a, where's it at again? There it is. Get over there. Over. You know how hard this is? Try to do that way. That one right there. That one there, it was, software issue. And I lost everything on there. Doggone it. I had to reformat the whole dang thing. Anyway, still working on this gizmo right here. Hold still. Stop shaking your head around. There you go, right there. Still working on this gizmo right here. Trying to get some vacuum forming done so that I can pour the molds have the molds to pour to put the coils in. Dead plastic, get off of there. That's probably going to give you a brain ache or something. Go that way, right there. Yeah, does that make you dizzy? It's making me dizzy. Anyway, that's why I need my doggone lab, man. Everything's jacked up. Look, here's what I'm looking at right here. All right. So, if I put this over here on this mouse, and I tighten that little screw down right there, dang. And then I'll drop that light back. All right, there we go. Dang it, which one of y'all is a doggone cameraman? Or woman? Gotta have that mad science hair going on, because that's the way things work out. Anyway, I'm trying to get things sorted out because, like I said, hey, my hair looks freaking white in that deal right there. See that? Hold on. There you go. That's the stuff right there. That's the ticket. That's how you know. That's how you know somebody got something up there in that right there, man. Anyway, I had to take a drink of my coffee. And I got to make a debut of this right here because I told Steve that I would make sure this is in all the videos from here on out. Now, see, this is Steve's mug, and hopefully I'll be able to give it to him one day. Be easier if you just tell me where to send it, man. You know, I ain't going to remember all this stuff right here. Now I can't even see. Mad scientist who fights against sellout mainstream science and predicate logic. A universal quantification is a type of quantifier, a logical constant, which is interpreted as given any or for all, expresses that a propositional function can be satisfied by every member of a domain of discourse. I want to make these doggone mugs, but these things cost me $11 to make. And it cost me $11 to ship, and God forbid if you was overseas, that probably cost me an arm and a leg and a fortune and then some. So I can't make a doggone fundraiser for this mad science channel if I got to charge somebody over $20 for a dang mug. You know, I sent one out to a friend that was on here last time. I hope he got it. He's supposed to let me know if he ever got it because, you know, he kind of made a donation to my mad science deal. And, you know, and so I basically sent him one of these out there as a thank you for it, you know, but still, oh, man. What do I look like, some sort of crook? Going to sell somebody a mug for $20? No, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I got to figure out a way to either have you be able to order direct from the company I get them if you like them. Of course, that's not necessarily going to be a fundraiser, but I got that and working on some other stuff, trying to, you know, maybe some T-shirts or something like that. I don't even got my doggone T-shirt on my Mad Science shirt. All I got is doggone Mad Science hair. You're going to have to deal with that. That's all you get right now. Anyway, let's see. Could you explain your device does? Oh, this one over here? throw a smiley face if you're talking about this one right here, because I got multiple ones. I got a neodymium magnet accelerator over here. All right, get over there, right there. I got the coil that was set up in the teaching tool video. All of these in conjunction with this old circuit board right here. See how much dust is on that? I'll do a live stream and a video about all of that. And this one over here is a new type of generator that's going to show you a different way to use electricity more efficiently. And the reason why I make that thing look the way it does, because I want you to be able to see inside of it. You know how they're always saying, oh, that battery's hidden up in that thing. I don't want you thinking there's any dang batteries in there, but that's not the point. The point is I want you to be able to see inside there, and I want you to be able to understand what I'm saying and how it works so that you can see the gears turning, if you understand that, if you know what I mean. So, you know, essentially, this got a flywheel system in there. Of course, you know the flywheel, that kind of helps to assist things, but it's got two separate motors in there that should not be able to run the way that I'm going to be running them, the way that I have run them in past videos. But either way, you know, one motor can assist the other motor with its back EMF. So you got, you know, when this motor over here is running, when its field collapses, it can go over to that next motor. And so it kind of helps them out, and they tune themselves. These doggone motor controllers that I use for this project, they're self-tuning. That's why whenever you fire up your little your motors or whatever with the motor controllers, you hear those tones and bleeps and stuff like that. It's tuning itself. And so one of them's going to want to go maybe one direction or whatever, and then the other one's going to want to go one other direction, but they'll work their way out until they tune themselves, and they're both going in the same doggone direction, even though I'm using two separate motor controllers, which on this side, one is going the normal direction, and on the other side, all the wires are reversed, so that it would be spinning. You know, obviously, if this one's going this way, you need that one to be going that way as well, so they're not fighting against each other. But the key about that is the doggone magnets orientation on there is set just specifically so that all of the ones on this side are positive field, and on the opposite side, all of them are positive field as well. But you still have the negative field, the south field, from the other magnet. It's just inset. So here you got your positive magnet, and inset like this, you now have your south, your north and your south, like this. And so on the opposite side of that deal, it'd be reversed. You'd have north out here and your south side in here. So that you still get that fluctuation between when the magnets are spinning past the coil. You still get that wave effect that you need in order to be able to induce a current inside there. With the exception is it's now not dragging as much as it would be if the magnets were just flat north, south, if you understand what I'm saying. If they're both even like this right here, when this magnet goes by, this one's trying to pull back on this one right here to get that cogging effect. And so to reduce that cogging effect to some extent and make that a little bit more efficient, you offset that magnet just about that much. So that when the flywheel's turning around, you got a north-south on this side, and you got a north-south on each side, and none of them are fighting amongst each other in order to get that change in polarity. So you get a customized wave. You can literally design this flywheel to have an actual customized waveform, whatever you want. And by being able to take and speed that thing up and slow it down with a motor controller, so you know the faster you go, the higher the frequency will go. The slower you go, the lower the frequency. So if I want to go to 60 hertz or 50 or 60 hertz like your normal electricity going, then all I got to do is turn it down slow, because you know, it's only 60 times per or 50 times per cycle, whichever one you're using. 50 times per cycle, you get a pulse. All right, and so that's your normal 50 hertz. Then on you know, speed it up just a little bit, now I can get up to 60 hertz or whatever. But the deal is, I can wind that thing down to where I'm down to 0 all the way up to a really high frequency. So with a lower speed, lower frequency, you get more current. Higher frequencies, you get less current, but higher voltages. And it's the higher voltages that I want. I couldn't care less at this point in the game about the current. And that's what I want to show you when it's all said and done, because, you know, current, when you meet resistance with the current, that's when things start to get hot. Some of these things that we run, they don't require nowhere near the amount of current that we're pushing to them. The amount of power that's coming out of that wall outlet right there, that's way too much power for your computer. Your computer doesn't nowhere near need that doggone thing. So you got a little step down transformer in there. You got cooling fans. You got heat sinks on your processors and such in order to, because you're shoving a lot of current through there. Some people think it's because of all the processing that's going on is why that thing is getting so hot, and that's simply not the case. Doggone bridge rectifier. Hold on a second here. Let me dig one off the shelf up here. If I can do this without jacking something up. So these are obviously made in China, but not everything made in China is bad. I mean, some folks, I swear, they get so freaking upset about things. This is a 100 amp, 1000 volt, 100 amp, 1000 volt. Where the heck is that dang number on there, deal? Yeah, these will go up to about 1000 volts at 100 amp right here. And it's a bridge rectifier. You don't need current to get that AC wave to turn into a DC wave. To change that AC to DC, and you know, this gizmo over here that I'm showing you right down in here, if I can get it to go over there. Go the other way. All right, you see that same rectifier down there? It's a 1000 volt, 100 amp rectifier, and it's being run. Dad blast it. Who could talk? Some people, I swear. Hold on. We're getting interrupted. Stop it. Getting interrupted. Hold on. Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? All right. Well, I guess I'll have to call you back later. Because I can't hear you. Let's see if it's even connected. It's my mom. You can't see that. She done hung up. I'll call her back later. Let me turn that on mute for a minute there. I won't turn on mute. I'll just put it on that vibrate thing. Vibrate only. I'll call her back later. It's all right. I'll treat my mama poorly. Anyway, like I was trying to say, there's a dang-do, how in the heck did that get going over there? I didn't push play. Jive turkey. Getting on my nerves now. All right, I bet that's my mom again. Who the heck? Oh, yeah, that is. Hey, Mom, how's it going? Because I'm in the middle of a live stream and there's my mama calling me. And I'm like, hey, I tried to answer the phone and I said, can you hear me now? No, I was doing that earlier. He was on the radio show. I'm sitting here right in front of, you know, the YouTube thing after. You'll see the doggone video. You won't hear yourself on there because this phone ain't attached to that gizmo over there. Now, however, if you were on Facebook and did this, then, yeah, you'd be right on the radio. Then you could tell me off in front of everybody. Alea. No, Mom. Get on doggone Facebook or call up what's my daughter's name? Jessica. Huh? Yeah. Well, this video, I'll send you a link to this live stream right now that you just interrupted for me, Mom. No, it's all right. I love my mama. I ain't ashamed nobody knows it. But I got phones ringing in the background now. All right, love you too. Bye. Bye. All right, see that? That's not gonna ring again, man. I told you this is gonna be crazy. Crazy test. Now, where were we? We were talking about the bridge rectifier. This right here, hold up to 1,000 volts at 100 amps is what they say these things do. Now, you don't need no current in order to change an AC wave into a DC wave. Now, it might be a little tiny fraction in milliamps or something like that. It ain't nothing even significant because I take that doggone, let me get you over there. You're going to get dizzy again, man. Why don't y'all just mellow out? You see that doggone signal generator right there? That signal generator is working on that. Where the hell did it go? There it is. It's over there. It's right in front of the signal generator. It's a microwave oven transformer. It's going into some AC run capacitors that then in turn is going through that bridge rectifier that in turn is then dumping into a large AC or large DC bank over there, charging up that large DC bank and then working its way around to all the ultra caps and the boost caps, and then eventually you come back around and it builds up the current again. Now you got pressure and power already ready to go to run a gizmo. All right, and right now that thing's charged up. I could flip this switch behind me and then that gizmo up there will come on, but then we'll have to listen until that thing finally winds down a loud obnoxious wee, blee, blee, blee. It's in a lot of my videos, man. But the point is, if you can control the frequency of that right there, you ramp the voltage up, and you have plenty of storage on there. So you take that high voltage, which now doesn't require you to have high current. You don't need the current because voltage is pressure. And you use that voltage pressure to move without having the resistance that you would of the current. So you can move a lot of power a lot quicker without all the resistance. It's when you start trying to move a lot of current at one time, that's when you start getting things hot. So anyway, I can pressurize all those capacitors, bring them around over there to the Maxwell supercapacitors, charge those things up, and they're just like a doggone car battery now, and they got just as much power as a car battery. Plus, I've got multiple different audio capacitors, and up there I've got multiple different audio capacitors. And as well, I got, if I can find the doggone thing, this is part of this gizmo here. Check this out. This one here is a beast. All right, you see that on there? It says 10 farad. That's a powerhouse right here now. I got two of these. One goes on this end over here and one goes on that end. So it's got a built-in power supply. So essentially what I'm telling you is, before it's all said and done, the only battery that you'll have in here will be these little small batteries that you see right down in there. See that little tiny battery? There's one there, and then there's one over there on that side. Now those batteries there are just to get things wound up. All right, once you get things wound up, those batteries are there just sitting there. They're just used as a supplementary power at that point. Other than that, there's no other batteries in the system. It all uses capacitors, different types of capacitors for different purposes. AC capacitors, run capacitors, and start capacitors. Uses DC regular capacitors all the way up to the super caps and the ultra caps, and it's just moving energy around from one place to the next. So I ramp that voltage up high. I move it around. So I start off with in that doggone signal generator, putting out a 60 hertz square wave. And I'm not using the sine wave because the square wave, it kind of packs a stronger punch when you come through doing this like this. I'll explain it all later. It'll make perfect sense to you. But I take that as approximately 9 volts output that comes out of that signal generator signal that goes into that microwave oven transformer and then ramps that voltage. See, it's pulsing the primary, and then out of the secondary where you'd normally get thousands of volts, now you're getting maybe 100 or more volts. You know, even if you only got 90 volts, it doesn't matter. Just you're ramping it up from the 9 volts because you don't need current at this point. You need the voltage. And so I run that voltage down in through the run capacitors, the start capacitors. Now, normally in any system, when you start a motor up, the start capacitor is just to use to pack a punch. All right, so it's just to give it that extra goose to get that motor turning. Well, since I'm not doing that at this point, and these things are normally, after you get the motor running, these are kicked out of the system, and then it goes over to a regular run capacitor, which can handle the current flow, the amount of current. Your regular AC capacitors, like would be in that microwave oven to begin with. It doesn't need a punch, but it needs something to hold that power. Anyway, so since I'm not cramming current to them, I don't have to worry about kicking them out of system. All I'm using them is to build that voltage up, pack a punch on the other side, and start running that doggone bridge rectifier to change from the AC wave that I just produced into the DC to charge those capacitor banks and then spread that energy out to where I want it to go. So when I flip this switch over here, then that sends the power up to that old dusty circuit you've seen up in there. And there's been a few videos out there about that old dusty circuit. But the thing is, there is absolutely no batteries in that entire system. It's all capacitors. Capacitors can be used as a battery if you understand the concept that whenever a capacitor is charged up and you want to discharge it, if you put a direct load on it or anything on there, it's going to instantaneously discharge if you do it after the capacitor is charged up. However, if you have the capacitor connected before you charge it up, it's not going to hurt nothing. It's going to take the amount of power that's coming in there. Normally if I was to take and charge that up and then connect this load to it, it'd burn that entire circuit board out. That's how much power you got in that doggone capacitor. So you don't do that. You have your capacitor connected before you charge it, so that when you connect it, like if you connected a regular car battery to the capacitor while it was going, you'd hear this pow. You don't want to do that. It's not safe. And so anyway, to try to make a even longer story short, there's absolutely no batteries in that system. And down here, there are absolutely no batteries in the storage bank until you get back over here to where you have those 2 little batteries right there. And like I said, those right there are acting as a maintainer for that power. So if you can think about this, you got a capacitor on this side, you got a capacitor on that side. You keep those capacitors fully charged up, then that power is just skimming right over the top of that battery. So you're not using that battery at that point. You're pulling your load off of it, either putting your load into this one here or pulling from this side over here, vice versa. So you actually create a buffer in between there. That's what that does, is it instead of your battery being charging and discharging like you normally do, you can only take a lead acid battery or nickel cadmium or nickel metal hydride or lithium ion or any of them batteries. You can only take them down so far before you can't bring them back up again. With the way that I'm talking about doing this system, you'll keep that battery topped off and you're not discharging it. See, capacitors are made to charge and discharge rapidly, and they're not going to hurt that capacitor. You can take a capacitor all the way down to 0, and you're not going to hurt it. But if you understand how that energy is actually traveling, and then you move that energy around and take it off where you need it, you can take off the exact amount necessary to run any given appliance without shoving too much current to that doggone appliance. That thing will run fine. Back in the old days, people thought they were tuning motors by putting capacitors on there. All they were doing was giving that excess energy a place to go, which made that motor run more efficiently. And so, you get the right set of capacitors on there, and you're putting 60 hertz out the wall, and that thing's only using like 90 volts, whereas before it was using 110, 115, 220 volts, depending on the type of motor you got. With that capacitor, what's going on there? Well, yeah, and all that energy that's trying to bounce back to the power grid is now keeping those capacitors. It's giving it a place for that extra energy to go instead of trying to cram it in that motor. The motor's trying to reject the voltage or the amount of current you're putting to it because it don't need that much to run. All it needs is the magnetic field. It needs the interaction between these two fields, whether it be your induced magnetic field or a permanent magnetic field, and the magnetic field that you're creating on this side over here. Those two need to interact with each other. Your magnetic field don't have to be way over here or way over there. You don't have to shove that much power. All they got to do is be close enough in proximity to interact with each other. The same concept if you have two magnets. You hold the magnets out here, and you can start to feel at a certain point when these magnets are beginning to interact with each other. For example, take a doggone neosphere. Where in the heck is it at? I got a bunch of these dang things around here, but I got to keep them away from stuff because they like to get all kinds of ridiculous on you. All right. My point is this. All right. You see this magnet right here? And I got to be really super careful because I don't want like get smacked in the mug, or I need to try to keep this on there. Wish I had a glass. Hold on. Hey, there we go. I could do it like that. That's probably safer. Take this one right here. All right. Now, you can see that one in there outside of me wobbling a little bit. And I got this one over here. You see how far I am away? That's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need that field to extend clear across the other side of that magnet. It don't have to be super strong. You just need those two fields to interact with each other. That's it. All right. Now, some would say, okay, well, if you push them closer together, you'll make this field stronger and you get more current. Oh, yeah, you're also tearing the dang thing up, too, because it don't need that much power to run. That's the point. Now, what did I do with all them dad burn screws? I had a whole handful of screws, and I just dumped them somewhere. There they are. All right. All right. You got to be able to keep your screws together. Get you a magnet. We got screws loose, man. Anyway, so the deal is, when you build this generator style over here, and I'm putting these motors right here. These are big paraglider motors. They're like $500 a piece. Let me see if I can get you a better look at them. You don't need these big motors. And the normal motor controller is it's huge, all right. But I'm running them off of this right here. And there's one on the other side, and all I got is a little servo tester in order to run it. That's all you need. So I don't need much power to get them puppies to turning. And I'm doing this to prove a point. When it's all said and done, I think you'll agree and understand what's going on there is pretty doggone impressive, because those things don't take that much current to run. Now, when you got those motor controllers going, and they're hooked in direct, just the same way they be on that magnet accelerator or on the other one right there. When those things are pushing power out, they're making that magnetic field strong, and then when it collapses, that energy's got to come somewhere. It's trying to come back down the other direction. So in one of the videos I told you, I started a wire fire with that thing. I was putting back so much power. So that's where the capacitor technology starts to come in, to where you give that excess power a place to go. Now your generators aren't working hard, your appliances aren't working hard. You can send that power down. You could either store it or use it for another appliance down the road. And you start building a system that is self-tuning. It will literally send the power where you need it without a whole bunch of high-tech technology to do it. It's like, so you got a container. I got a coffee cup right here, you know, and I got a little a smaller cup, and then I got a bucket, and then I got a big old giant swimming pool. And all of these things are interconnected with each other. And so when that swimming pool is completely full, every last one of the smaller ones are full. And so you think about that doggone system up there and that system over there. This one over here, if you go watch a video I did called 9 volts, and I think one of them was called unsubscribe. Go watch those 2 videos, and you can sit there and watch as this thing, you put a little energy to it, and then it'll run for a while, and then it'll start slowly winding down. It goes from the larger one down to the smaller one, down to the smaller load, down to the smaller load, until it finally gets down to the little blinking LED. As long as you can keep any power whatsoever going to that big swimming pool, all the ones below it are going to still run. Now, there's a guy out there named Gerard Moore, and I tried to get a hold of this man, I don't know how many doggone times, because he's done something similar to what I'm talking about. Keep in mind, our terminology might be different, and he gets a little frustrated and does a little foul-mouthing at times. Hey, to each your own, man. I try not to be a foul-mouthed heathen because I'm trying to be talking to everybody out here. Might be some children listening. I don't need to be talking nasty like that. What's wrong with y'all folks? Of course, I put on here it's not for children purposes anyway, because, you know, I might get hacked off. Somebody might say something crazy up in the chat room, and I'll be like, why, you old bleep and bleep, come on down the road and say some of that to this old scrappy dude. You know, I'm just a dude. There. So anyway, there's a lot that I can show you when it comes down to electricity, and that's why I'm trying desperately to get my lab together, you know, and I'm trying to figure out, see, I'm not a businessman. I'm a science guy, you know. I got mechanics, science, physics, that kind of stuff in my mind. I'd rather just get up here, stand in front of the camera and say, look, this is how this works. I want to show it to you. You take and do what you want with it, that kind of thing there. But right now, you look at me, man, dude, it's duct tape and baling wire. I had this computer conk out on me today. Of course, that's an old Windows XP. This is a Windows 10. This one here was a RAM issue. I had pushed the RAM back in for some reason. I don't know, that RAM must be going bad or getting thin or something. I don't know. This is a Windows 10. This one over here is a Ubuntu Linux one right here. This one's got the sticky hard drive. It went to this morning. And this one here, I literally lost a lot of stuff on because this one here was a Windows 7. And of course, you know, Microsoft software sucks. Yeah, you tell old Bill Gates next time he sees old shazizz, he better like take off running. See that man in the dark alley? We're going around. Come on, man. The dude can't keep viruses out of his doggone computers, for Pete's sake, man. I mean, tell me what, this doggone junky old software. At least with Linux, you know, it's a hardware failure kind of thing. You know, the hard drive goes bad or the RAM or something like that. But with Windows, man, that stuff is it's like touchy. It's like walking on eggshells. You so much as fart around that thing, the doggone Windows will crash. You can't do that. Yeah, granted, some of these modern day computers, they got crash protection where, it kind of save itself on the way down. Oh, I'm going down, bro. I'll be back soon. And then you turn around and you boot it back up, and then you go to, the Google Chrome there and click on that, and it's got a restore, and it puts you right back where you was. That's aggravating whenever you lose your spot. So, yeah, I got to give them credit for that. But that's only because they want to be good at spying on you. Ain't got no reason for anything other than that. Anyway, enough all the computers. See, I'm trying to put all this stuff together, but I'm not a cameraman, and I'm not a doggone computer, dude. Keep in mind, I know my way around computers. All right, been jacking with computers all the way back since the TRS 80s and the Commodore 64s. Back there when you played that little Pong with the little dot going back and forth between these two lines, bloop, 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 that kind of deal. And then they got into some different graphics all the way up. You know what I'm saying. Now look at the graphics nowadays; they're incredible. Somebody said, "I just want to see that stream in higher resolution. I can hear you all good." That's what I'm trying. I'm trying. I got to I just got this OBS software going. And, I'll get it all sorted out, put it on, better deal there. I know I'm looking at it over here on this one right here, and it looks all blurry as get out. But this one over here, it's looking good. The one I'm actually on. But we'll get it sorted out. Then I'm going to take a drink of my coffee. Speaking of coffee, I'll put my mug back up in there. Look, I'm not selling these things yet. Look, shazizz mad science right there. Get out of the doggone light there, you jerk. Anyway, it's mad science mug. There, that's a little bit better. It's not so bad. And it's got a saying on the back for those of you who just showed up. It says, mad scientist who fights against sellout mainstream science and predicate logic. A universal quantification is a type of quantifier, a logical constant which is interpreted as given any or for all. It expresses that propositional function can be satisfied by every member of a domain of discourse. There's something important right there. You need to remember that. You'll see what I'm talking about. It all makes perfect sense. Get it going on the OBS. I'm working on it. All right, I'm working on it. This was just a test, a crazy test to see if any crazy people was watching and if listening to crazy people talking. Anyway, that's Steven's mug. If I ever get a chance to give it to him, I'm waiting for it. I tried to set the other one off to what was his name? I'll have to look it up. Anyway, so I got computers crashing on me. I got duct tape and baling wire. I'm trying to get past the blurry video situation. I'll get that worked out. Sell that energy saving gizmo heck with a drinking mug. That's an idea. I tell you what, that neodymium magnet accelerator over there. I'm seriously working on this right here. This gizmo right here. You're gonna love this. It's I don't know if you can see that down there. It says neodymium magnet accelerator. I'm going to make that in kit form because I want people to actually have a prototype of it, a kit that they put together, because when you see what that thing is capable of doing, you're going to be a happy camper if you're into alternative energy. So between that one right there, if I could put that doggone thing in kit form, and then I can throw one of these mugs in here, consolidate it too, to where you wouldn't feel bad about buying a doggone kit from me, and I'll send you a mug with that kit. Everybody's happy. You got something, I got something. Excuse me. Doggone it. Everybody got something. And you get to support mad science. Ugh. Dang it, man. It's good to see you too, Jason. So, Excuse me, I choked on my doggone teeth here or something. Ah. Let me get that situated here. Anyway, doggone it, YouTube went and stuck it to me and took away any doggone monetization because they said my channel's inactive and don't make enough videos and don't make enough, there's not enough people watching. So ain't nobody watching my videos. Ain't nobody, I'm just not getting enough hours or something like that. I got enough subscribers and only half the amount of watch time. So there ain't nobody watching them. So they axed the whole thing right there. And so what I was doing whenever I make a few pennies in the bucket off of that stupid thing right there, I'd throw it towards stuff like this right here to make more projects. But, that's gone now. So now it's all up to whether or not I can figure out a way to make some sort of fundraiser. But I'm not a guy that's going to say, hey, send me your money. I don't want you to send me your doggone money unless I'm going to send you something in return. Because I ain't trying to rip nobody off. When I said free energy, I meant it. Now, I know these folks out there think I'm freaking nuts, but I don't care what they think. I'm going to prove what I say. Mark my words. I ain't like one of those folks out there that says, oh, yeah, click on this free energy, and you get on there, and this jerk's got some magnets all shoved up inside this thing and got this junky little wires twisted together telling you it's free energy. Don't be lying to people. Dude, you can see right there with your own two eyes what's going on. All right? Now, is this free energy? No, it ain't no doggone free energy because you don't know what to do with it just yet. But you put them solar panels outside. You got the wind turbine outside. You got to go look at my video series, Free Thinkers. Very few people even realize what the heck was going on. That ran for probably like 4 years at least before I finally shut the thing down. And it was picking up solar. It was picking up wind. It was picking up static electricity, negative ion generation. It was picking up doggone galvanic action, earth battery technology. It was using capacitors, both AC and DC. It was doing it all. And it was picking up radio waves at the same doggone time. There's some nifty little diodes out there, like germanium, you might want to check into. The germanium diodes are pretty cool. You can do stuff. I did little anomaly videos here and there about wireless energy transfer and such like that. And you could see stuff, when I had that little shazizz dump there, and you could see it wirelessly lit up from the coils out there. I don't even scratch the surface of what you can do. And so there's energy everywhere. All right. We live in a sea of energy. And there's idiots out there say, oh, those folks that say you live in a sea of energy, they don't know what the heck they're talking about. No, you don't know what you're talking about. You got hydrogen and oxygen, which makes water, and both of these two right there are some very energetic molecules. Hydrogen and oxygen are necessary for things. And water molecule is pretty doggone impressive when you get down to thinking about its actual physics. So using its actual physics, there's some impressive stuff that you can do with water. Water in itself, falling out of the sky, has some power to it. Yeah, you go look at the Lord Kelvin device. When the water was dripping down through there, it's building up a static charge. And then next thing you know, you got thousands of volts going on if you build the system right. So as the rain is falling, you can pick up static electricity. You can use atmospheric energy. You can use wind power, solar power, thermal electrics, hydroelectrics, and I could go on and on and on. But it seems everyone needs some sort of device that they can hold in their hand, that they can measure and do all this stuff right here. And that's going to make them happy. Yeah, I could put those devices in your hands, and I've tried many times, but there's a lot of folks out there that think you're nuts, and they just won't take you serious, and they won't really try it. Try it before you deny it, man. That's what I'm saying. He said, can you harness, D-Rest said, can you harness static from triboelectric effect? Yeah, there's different materials out there that, I got a couple videos links that I'll have to try to pull up there, but there's, go look up, I don't know if you've seen it yet or not. What are they called? Oh, dang it, man. Something like, what he does is he takes this material, he heats it up, he hits it with a high voltage, and it causes this material to align all the molecules inside of it. Electret, that it is. Look up electret and see what this guy's doing with this. It'll blow your doors off. It's not a very big YouTube channel. It probably should have a lot more people. I mean, they're into a lot of other stuff, but it's pretty amazing because this stuff builds up a static charge, and it holds that static charge, and it'll literally, you can see the aluminum foil wanting to cling to it. And there's all different types of materials, you know, like the Van de Graaff generator, you know, building up a static charge by the belt running across the plastic and stuff like that. You can build a Van de Graaff generator out of just about anything. With the Wimshurst deal right there, you got pretty much the same concept. It's going through the atmosphere and it's picking up that energy on brushes. So there's many ways in order to produce the high voltage that you need to do the same exact thing that I'm doing. And you store that high voltage, and then you turn around and you use that voltage pressure and then turn around and pulse transformers with anything from transistors to power MOSFETs to 555 timers, and you can ramp that power up and use it. And so electret, yeah, look up electret. It's a pretty neat deal how they do that. They like I said, they heat up this material, and then they hit it with some high voltage, and then turn around, and when as it's cooling down, it holds all the you know, particles in positive, negative, or whatever. It just orients them, and now it's almost like a dang magnet. It's almost the same process of how they do magnets. Pretty cool stuff. Says hello, crazy. Nice. Sorry about that. I get, man, these stupid glasses right here. These aren't my regular reading glasses. These are, and they're like freaking. You see this right here? I can see pretty much nothing. With these, I can see better. These right here, this heat shrink holding these together. I got some glasses on order, and so as soon as those doggone things show up, I might be able to read out of the dang chat room again. Or drive dude to drinking. That's why you gotta have that. It won't. There you go. That's it. That's like Mr. You know that cartoon, Heat Miser, and the old who's the one that's all cold all the time? Mr. Winter or something like that. Einstein with sweaty hair. There, that's better. Now you gotta have that mad science there. Otherwise, you're not a mad scientist. Well, you could be a mad scientist. Actually, if you want to be a mad scientist, if you want to get your degree, go to shazizzradio.com, and let me see if I can find it's on the super chat room. It's shazizzradio.com, and take that doggone test. There's a attend the University of Mad Scientist button on the super chat room. Go take that test, and if you pass the test, you can print out your doggone diploma and tell everybody you're a mad science guy and wear it proudly up on your doggone wall or whatever. Heck, just carry the thing around like a freaking sign, man. You know? Make a t-shirt out of it. But yeah, if you can't pass that test, I don't know what to tell you. Take it as many times as you need to in order to pass the doggone thing. And you be a mad scientist guy. Anyway, so well, I hope it explains what I'm doing right here. That's why I got to get my doggone lab finished. If you go look at Forces of Darkness, that's one of the videos that I put out there where I showed my lab got destroyed from the flood kind of deal. And then if you go look at the video, this last one that I did, I can't remember what it was called, something about Electron 2, or I don't know. It's not too far back in the dang deal. Let me look it up there so I ain't telling you to go to the wrong dang one. Let me see what the name of that was. Content. Oh, well, had duct tape and baling wire. Oh, Redneck e-bike. That was the one. Go look at the one that said Redneck e-bike, because I was asking you in there if you wanted me to try to revive the Electron, because it's been sitting down in there and it still ran. after all them years, that dang thing still ran. So, and I deliberately built that thing out of junk, man, because if you can build it out of junk and you can prove the concept building it out of junk, imagine what you could do in a precision shop with that. You know, that was the point in that whole deal. What we got right down there? Still running your 95 camera? I tell you what, man, this is a doggone HD camera. I'm just too stupid to know how to set the thing up. This thing is nuts. I told you, I'm not a cameraman. I'll get this thing figured out. I'm going to have a friend of mine come over, and then he's going to tweak everything. He's going to get this turned in right and that turned in right, and then I'll try not to touch anything. Don't hit no buttons, and maybe I'll get some dang good video out of it, you know. And see, I don't do all that dang CGI, blue screen, green screen, crazy stuff right there, you know. So as long as I got this camera to where you can see nice and clearly into that device, and that one over there and the one up there, I need to dust that one off. You know how old that thing is? Go back and look at the video called Homing Beacon. That thing right there, that's old. And like I said, if you had batteries in that, and it'd been that many years, that thing wouldn't work. But it works too today. Let me prove it to you. Let me prove it to you that that sucker still works. And it actually produces plasma in one of the situations there. I'm going to try to do this without jacking something up. Last time I did this, I unplugged the dang USB cord and just went all to hell in a handbasket. Okay, right here. You see how dusty this thing is? Get off of there, you idiot. All right, you see how dusty this thing is? Look at all that. This thing is old. Let's go back that way. Back that way. See how dang old that sucker is? And it's this one right there that has plasma in it. All right, so when you look up here, this capacitor bank over here, all right, those are about 500,000 microfarads apiece. 500,000 microfarads apiece. And over on the opposite side down there, there's a couple more of them right down there in that general vicinity. Now, those are charged up right now, but you can't see them because after a certain point, it'll actually turn themselves off or whatever. Watch this. I'm going to reach down here and flip this little switch. Now, watch what happens up here. You see that? See them all going? I'm trying to be a cameraman, for Pete's sake. Get off of there. Dang magnet sticking to my wire. Stop it! Alright. You see that in the center down there, that purple down in there? That's plasma. Urgh. See how old that thing is? Alright. Tilt it the other way. Ah! Alright. Now, I'm going to reach down here. I'll flip it off. All right, see that? It's still going. It's going to start winding down. If you look over there, it shows I got 13.1 volts on one and 13.4 on the other. I don't know if you can see that or not. All right, now look over here. See that? Not one single battery in that entire deal. Now I'm gonna reach down here. You hear it start? You hear that starting to wind down? Now watch this right here. I'm gonna hit the switch again. Now listen to it go back up. You hear that? All right, now I'm gonna reach down here, turn it off. See that? Now you go back over here. We're at 13.1, and the other one, it timed out, so it's still at about 13 volts. 13 volts. All right. You hear it winding down a little bit? Do it one more time. Now, turned it off again. All right. So that's enough of all that right now. So if you're a cameraman and you think you can help me out and fix that, figure that all that stuff out, we need to talk. Because I just can't, look, do what I can do with what I got to work with. It's as simple as that. But you see that thing still going? And over there, I'm still 12.8 on that one and 13 on the other. That energy is going downhill, filling everything up. It's running those loads. Each one of those loads takes about 9 volts with a little bit of current per one on there. Just like a regular 9-volt battery would be enough to run one of those. And there's how many up there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circuits. 5 times 9. 5 9-volt batteries worth of energy that it takes to run that and do what that does. It's all about moving energy, folks. That's it. Yeah, we're not doing nothing fancy. It's not hoodoo voodoo. It's basic science and basic physics. And it really gets on my doggone nerves and gets under my skin. That as hard as I try to show people things, you get these wise guys come up out the woodwork like roaches that think themselves to be so college educated that they know the laws of physics, and they start misquoting the laws of thermodynamics and conservation of energy and all this crazy stuff to you. And I'm like, dude, I was going to school whenever you weren't even in existence, and you're going to sit there and try to tell me, you don't got to tell me about the laws of physics. I got all that. I don't use the high-tech terminology because not every person out there is a rocket scientist, nor do they want to be. I just want to show them something. I want them to understand how it works. Like as far as your car, you go out there to work on your car. Your dad teaches you how to change the starter, right? So you don't know what it actually takes to run that starter. You don't know what's the mechanics of the physics of the inside of it. You got a general idea. But you can change that starter, and if need be, you could turn around and rebuild that starter. You get more information going on, and it's not that big of a deal. But if I come out there and start blurting out a bunch of high-tech terminology, science, and physics and stuff like that, you wouldn't have a clue what I'm talking about. And there you go on down the road. I don't want you to go on down the road. I want you to not only understand how it works, I want you to see it mentally, physically, emotionally in your mind, with the mad science here, if need be. See, we got to get that stuff worked out, man. It's going to have to do. It's getting hot in here. Here, I'll turn this AC on and make that crappy video even more, because now you hear that blowing in the background. So you see my hair getting hit by the AC now. I'm going to show you how to do that better too. But in order to be able to get all that doggone stuff accomplished, I got to finish my mad science lab. I tried to figure out a way to do a fundraiser. The mugs ain't going to cut it, because logically it don't make no dang sense to try to make a mug and sell a mug and make a little tiny bit of profit to throw back into your deal. If it costs $11 to make a mug and it costs $11 to ship the mug, you're up to $22 already. Did you pay $22 for a coffee mug? Not me. I'm thrifty, man. I got this at Casey's, and I've had it for many years. You know, I broke a few of them. Had to go back and buy a new one. But they initially come with like a free cappuccino in the doggone thing. So you fill it up whatever your favorite drink is, and then now you got the mug, and I drink coffee in it like it's going out of style, man. That's where they start jacking up the coffee prices. There's going to be a civil war. I'll tell you that. I'll start it. What do you think? I'm just trying to say, man. I'm just trying to say, that's all. You know, these folks out there, I'm trying to get this, long hair is good for receiving emotions. Yeah, man. Hey, I was a hippie back in the day. I was born in the 60s. Peace and love and all that kind of jazz. You know, some rock and roll going on. You know, some good tunes. Some old Creedence Clearwater Revival, and some REO Speedwagon, and some Ted Nugent, and some AC/DC, some Led Zeppelin, some Van Halen, maybe even some Styx, you know. All that kind of stuff. Those were good tunes back in the day. Now they got all that stuff going out there, you know, banging the dang head. I tell you, give you a damn set of whiplash is what that'll give you. You don't need no damn whiplash, man. You need what brains you got in your head. Your ding brain beating up against your skull like that. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I just can't get into the rap, man. I just, you know, I could probably rap if I had to, but it just doesn't ring the bell, man. It's like I want a band that has some tunes to it, you know, some rhythm and some, you know, some jams out there. You know, the farthest I can get into the newer stuff is they got some band out there called Disturbed. Got a couple good songs, but some of their songs got some foul mouth heathenism going in there. Somebody's mom needs to soap their mouth, I'll tell you that right now. You know, Metallica's a pretty good band. You know, I like the old bands like Boston. Now, that's a band, right? Boston, you know, I don't know if any of y'all even know what classic rock is these days. But regardless, those were some good tunes. And, you know, hey, whatever, man. Whatever makes you happy. But somebody said they needed clean, renewable, alternative energy, and I said, okay. We can do that, even though, look, there is no such thing as fossil fuel. If you believe in fossil fuel, go back to school. You ain't figured nothing out yet. It's a lie. It's planned, what you call it, scarcity, planned scarcity. If it sounds like it was made from a fossil, there couldn't have been that many fossils, man. There's only so much oil in the world. It'll be gone in 20 years. And then 20 years later, oh, it'll be gone in 20 years. And then 20 years later, oh, it'll be gone in 20 years. You know why? Because 20 years ago, most folks don't remember what they said back 20 years ago, like the hole in the ozone layer and, you know, the whole new 20 inches of snow on your driveway while the planet's melting away kind of thing. So I don't go for all that. If you want real science, let's talk reality. Let's sit down and talk real science. I'll do that with you. But if you're going to try to tell me that this stuff that's coming out your mouth right there is actually heating up the planet, go watch my video, Caveman Killed the Dinosaur, if you want to know what happened there. Because I'll tell you what, man. These folks out here, they don't teach real science anymore. I feel bad for the youth today because y'all getting screwed, man. The modern day education system ain't nothing more than a public indoctrination center. You know, and They want workers. They don't want thinkers. And you need to be a thinker. Otherwise, he's going to be working your life away. And so if I can show you how to fix a problem that I know doesn't really exist, but I'll still sit here and humor you. You said you wanted clean, renewable, alternative energy. All right. What are you waiting for? I'll give you exactly what you said you wanted. Just stop complaining about it. Don't stand there with a wooden stick and a paper sign saying save the trees because you look foolish, man. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Take money to start your lab. You could make a PDF of the theory and how one for your project work. You know, it's not such a bad dang idea right there. Hey, thanks a lot for that. That's a good one. I think I could contemplate on that. How many of y'all would be interested in a CD full of how-tos? I could work on that. You know. But figured with these videos, I'll walk you step by step as soon as I get that dang lab together and show you. Because like this neodymium magnet accelerator, let's say I can get these things made for a reasonable price, and then you want one so that you can sit there and you'll have it on your lab table, and I'll have mine on my lab table, and we can troubleshoot these together, and I can show you some cool things that thing does. And so when we get this all down, and now the cat's out of the bag, so to speak, you know, look, free energy device. You come up with a free energy device, you put it out there on the table, you go out there, you try to get a patent on it, right? They couldn't think about Stan Myers, 1970s driving around in a dune buggy using hydrogen technology. They wanted really badly to debunk that guy. They wanted to try to say, oh, no, he was doing this. He was trying to scam somebody, and it was all myth. It was all a lie. No, it wasn't. I was around for a long time and know a lot of things. But nonetheless, you try to put something like that on the dang table, and suddenly it's a national security risk. Come on, man. So I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you all the pieces of it, tell you exactly what this thing can do, what that thing can do, and by the time it's all said and done, you know in your head right now exactly how to build it. It ain't no putting no jokes around. You don't have to love your reactor. It's not some sort of hoodoo voodoo magic. It's using the best laws of physics to your advantage to get things done. Now, I told a guy one time that you could build an engine that will run on pure distilled water, because there's a difference between regular tap water and distilled water. Look it up. You'll find out some things. When the distilled water has no impurities in it and the tap water has impurities in there, you'll actually see a physical difference on how these two boil. And one becomes more dangerous than the other because you can obviously see that one's boiling. Don't stick your finger in that, and don't try nothing. But what about the one that has no impurities in there? What happens if you actually throw an impurity into that water that doesn't look like it's boiling? It's freaking hot. It's just as hot as the boiling one, if not hotter. Throw an impurity in there and it can become very dangerous. So just understanding that little bit of physics right there, the physics on how steam is produced and what steam pressure is all about and all that kind of stuff, the moment you start warming that water up, those molecules are moving around. Heat it up a little hotter and they're going around even farther. Hit it a little bit hotter and it's going up a little bit farther. So now you get that water all the way up. Water, I think, probably at 212 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level will begin to boil. All right. So, when you flash it into steam, it will expand 1,600 times its volume. That's a lot of pressure. So if you understand those concepts right there, and you understand about sonic vaporization and atomizer technology, and you start putting two and two together, how a steam engine works, how a diesel engine works, how a compressor works, all these things there, like the internal combustion engine, fuel injections, the size of the injectors and such like that. Now you can start putting two and two together and start thinking, wait a second here. If I turn around and I start warming this water up, and I run this water around a 300-degree cylinder. It's inside this tubing. It's going around this 300-degree cylinder. It's going to start picking up that heat, and at 212 degrees, it's going to start flashing into steam. What's occurring right there? Pause that thought just for a second. A microwave oven sends a short, fast wave inside there. Water molecule is a dipole molecule. It has a north and a south field on it. Did you know that? It's like a little magnet almost, you know? It's a positive and a negative side on the north and the south. So as that wave is coming through there, it's literally like a magnet rocking that water molecule back and forth rapidly, producing friction, which in turn produces heat and cooks your food in the microwave. Think about it. It ain't got to the point right now where it's like ripping the water molecule in half. All it's doing is friction and heating it up. But what happens if you take that same water molecule and you put a higher frequency, faster, shorter wave inside there, and you just rip this sucker apart? Whoop! When you release that hydrogen and oxygen and nitrogen, hydrogen and oxygen, when you separate it, water is the most stable molecule. Go see what happens when water molecule is separated, and what other thing occurs inside that water molecule, and even when they recombine back together. Study the effects of what really occurs in a boiler explosion, such as at a nuclear power plant. What is that actual explosion on there? You got lots of heat, lots of pressure, you got water involved. What is that actual explosion? Well, otherwise implosion, because hydrogen implodes and oxygen explodes. So, treating this water, warming it up, preparing it, it's going on a run. It goes around this 300-degree cylinder. By the time it's getting ready to flash into steam, by the time it comes around, it goes through an atomizer, breaks it down just yet even farther, and then right through a sonic vaporization system that takes it down into a really super fine mist. And right about the time that that intake valve opens up and you put that little amount of steam in there, it instantaneously hits that 300-degree cylinder. It's already hot enough, not hot enough to do any damage, not cold enough to do any damage. It's right about at the right temperature where it's getting ready to pop, and as soon as it hits that cylinder, it superheats and flashes the steam, expands 1,600 times its volume, slamming that piston down. When that piston goes down between the pressure and the heat on the upstroke, bam, you crack the hydrogen and oxygen, nitrogen, igniting both of them, and pow! Guess what? You got combustion. Go look up in aviation. Did they ever use water injections to get an engine out of a stall? Did they ever use water injection in order to get a tractor to run on less fuel back in the day? Did they ever do anything like that? Do they still do water injections to this very day in some race car situations? Some of which they just kind of use it to kind of clean the crud, the carbon off of the cylinders. But if you do the mathematics and you do the proper measurements and you have just the exact amount that necessary to actually push that piston down, no more, no less, just the exact amount, you'll get more than enough power to give you the fun on that, you know, that little bike or that motorcycle, car you got or whatever. You got everything you need. Folks, you've had free energy the whole doggone time. They're not going to tell you this stuff. You got to try it. You literally got to try it. You just got to try it. You got to have some doggone faith. Think outside the box. Don't be one of their drones. Don't be one of their dad burn, worker bees. You know, if you want to go work for the man to earn a living, then go work for the man to earn a living. That's whatever makes you happy, makes you happy. If you literally want to give the world freedom and security from all this, what are they fighting over in this world? They're fighting over resources. That's all they do is fight over resources. Do you still hear that beeping up there? I'm going to shut that thing off, and I'm going to shut this thing off right here because it's kind of getting cold. And I also want you to know that, I don't have electric bill like most of y'all think anymore. All right, so let me get a screwdriver and short that thing out. Hear that? Whee! That thing will grind on you after a while. All right, so all that time when I was sitting there, I showed you charge the thing up and it went running down to the largest to the smallest one down to the final blinking LED and that little piezoelectric speaker, and that thing will go on for a long time after the first hit. And now over there, that thing completely fully charged back up. And I'm just putting a signal, a square wave right out of that dang signal generator and charging all that up and still be able to do everything that I'm doing right here. That burn it, folks. If I can ever just get this crap all together to show you what it is I'm talking about, we got it made. You need to build a dream team in your neighborhood. You need to get somebody who knows how to weld, somebody who knows the electronics, electrician, engineer, whatever. You know, they all go out there and work for the man. They all have talents. What do you think the corporations and the companies do? They go around and get all the best of the best. They come to get you when they want something done. You build a team like that in your neighborhood. You build you a virtual lab scenario. Get one of these doggone neodymium magnet accelerators, or just get on the dang video and replicate it, copy it. Heck, if you beat it, I'm not even trying to patent this thing. Get the doggone thing, make one of them, make it into a kit form and sell them yourself. Make yourself some doggone money, build you a lab or whatever. And if later on, anyone out there, I threw the gauntlet down. I said, hey, I don't care, whatever science got out there, bring the best of the best to the table. Let's talk about it. You know, think about this for a second. You got an astrophysicist on TV who can look out there, see a teeny tiny little light, and then say, that thing's trillions of light years away, man. Trillions of light years away. We could never get there in our lifetime. Okay. And he's going to tell you that, hey, there's a planet around it, and this planet has moons around it, and this planet has this type of gas, and I'm like, really? You ascertained all that from a little bitty dot of light in the sky? Huh. By the way that color light spectrum, and by the way that this thing wobbles and blinks and all that, you're going to tell me that then trillions of light years away, there's a doggone freaking planet that has 5 moons around it, and there's another big old giant gas planet behind it, and then there's another one behind that, and all that kind of stuff there. You're gonna sit there and try to tell me all that because you can do that through that telescope there? You know, you got one in space and you got some on the ground. You can tell me all that? That's a freaking astrophysicist. That's what they call them, or something like that. And I said, there's this free energy that is observable and actually usable here on there, and you can tell me, well, that's against the laws of conservation of energy. That violates thermodynamics. Why? That'll never work. And then I slowly reach back and I say, wait a second, man. Are you trying to call me a lie, sucker? Let's throw the science gauntlets down. Let's do this thing. Because if I tell you that I understand the laws of physics, and I guarantee you I understand the laws of physics. I understand water. Water's powerful. You can cut through steel with water under the right circumstances. Water has a lot of amazing qualities, the most amazing molecule and the most abundant here on the earth. You boil water, you can cook your food with that water. For some reason, you can't seem to be able to destroy that molecule. Why is that? It evaporates, it goes up into the air, comes down, and on the way down, it's producing electricity, and I get lightning going across the doggone thing. And because it's so cold up there, you got ice crystals that are now rubbing up against each other, and they're producing a static charge up there as well. And you get this massive charge up here, and you got a negative charge down here. And when they're finally able to, freaking ionize the atmosphere between the air and the ground, it'll find a path, and kapow! You get millions of volts of electricity all in one leg burn shot. And all that came from that water. Imagine that. Now I could see that. I could get killed by that. Heck, I could be in a flood because of that. I could be in an avalanche, a mudslide. But yet you could tell me you saw a little light out there with that little deal right there. Look at that light right there. There's a doggone freaking planet out there, and there's a gas planet, and there's 5 moons around it, and it's got a sun. It's actually got a twin sun over there too. You can't see it because it's dark. It's a dwarf star. Dude. Quantum physics, astrophysics, all these theoretical sciences don't hold a candle to real science. And so if you ever got the cojones to step up to the plate and try to talk some common sense, you throw all your high-tech terminology out there once and I'll smoke you. I paid attention in science class. I don't call it mad science for nothing. You can't sit there and try to tell me you're a theoretical physicist. This is theory, quantum physics. Yeah, whenever you don't know what the truth is, you can make it up, because in quantum physics, every single thing is possible. And if you're saying that every single thing is possible, and I'm saying that every single thing is possible, and then you turn around and trying to say what I'm trying to tell you ain't possible, you can't run a car on water, I'm going to tell you didn't pay attention in science class. Go back to school, fool. Because that's what it is. It's all a dang lie. It's all a dang lie. Folks, you want to get busy on this stuff? I do too. It's taken me too dang long to get my lab together. If you want to support me, it's simple. Go visit my website. That's it. Go hang out. Catch me on Skype. Catch me on peopleforpeople.ning.com. Go over there and visit my friend over there and help him out. Because we're trying to get all this information out to everybody. YouTube done demonetized me, basically kicked me to the curb. I got like 300 videos up there, none of which are good enough to make any money off of, but they're all good enough to have people come to their website to see them. So, they don't necessarily play by a good set of rules, a fair set of rules, so to speak. So eventually I'm not going to be on YouTube. So whatever you like on there, download it, make a movie out of it. Say, hey, this was the craziest man we ever did see in our life. And this is what he talked about back in the day. But about looking at now modern day technology, there might be something here that we already saw when we watched this video out there. Man ain't as crazy as he looks. So it's got that going on. Ain't no joke, man. If you freaking think the planet's doomed, stop running around with a wooden stick and a paper sign saying save the trees, get to work. Dang. I'm having me a cigar. They're going to say, that ain't good for you, man. I lit it backwards. Don't do that. Tastes like, all right, let's try this again. All right, so I lit the butt. All right, let's try this again. They'll be like, oh, you're doggone depleting the ozone layer, and you're doggone causing global warming and all this doggone stuff, man. Climate, this and that, whatever. Look, man, come on. I could get into the science on this, but you know what? They'll turn around and they'll put this little deal on the bottom of my movie down there, and it's got to give you the official view of what's going on. Let me tell you something here. CO2 is a very important thing for your body. See, your body has to have CO2 whenever you're like you're pumping that blood through there and you're burning calories. Your body's producing CO2, man. Then you breathe in this oxygen, like 20% oxygen on the outside. You breathe this oxygen in, it gets down in there in your lungs, you know, and as it comes across this really thin layer down there, the CO2 on one side and the oxygen on the other side kind of trade places. Now you got fresh oxygen in your bloodstream, kind of going around cleaning stuff up and doing its job, you know, and then you breathe out CO2. Now, when that CO2 breathes out, then, you know, you got a plant over here. This plant, like, ooh, supper time. So the doggone CO2, which it falls, it doesn't float up there into the atmosphere like these amateur science folks. Like the parts per million. Come on, man. Just breathe it out. It falls down. It's a heavier molecule than the oxygen molecule. You got O2, which is two oxygens together. That's oxygen. That's O2. CO2 is two oxygens and one carbon together. That's, you know, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. One oxygen, two, one carbon. And that's dangerous one. The CO2 is actually dangerous, but you need CO2 to live. You need it in your blood to live, because without that CO2, you don't get that oxygen transfer into your bloodstream, and you need that oxygen down into your blood in order to get the, it's just like a machine, man. Just like a machine. When the CO2 comes out your mouth, the plant scrubs off the carbon, it releases the fresh oxygen, and it's a symbiotic relationship. You work hand in hand with one another. We need nature to survive. It's that simple. But I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey, somewhere around here, where did I do with it? Oh, that must still be over at the other lab. I got a picture of Einstein. On these days, I'm going to put Einstein up and I'll put myself up and see who's looking the best. We could have a beauty contest. Anyway, somebody said down in there, man, that's a whole lot to read, Jason. I try to read it, but I can't see very good with these dang glasses. I got to get my new glasses in there. I'll have to read it. I'll have to go back and read it later. Let's see. There's a short one down there. What did you just what did you just said? You running your home on EPG? Oh, look, man. I don't need the jackboot thugs kicking down my dang door with their flip-flops or whatever. But if you ever decide to go solar, what you want to do is you want to get the grid tie that goes right straight to the dang power company. And you want to estimate your solar panel kit larger than what you actually need, way larger. Right, you get this thing set up, right? They had to put a larger transformer in for my solar panel array. And so when the sun's out, that thing's pushing more power than I can use over at the other side over there. And so that calculates out to this side over here. And so, you know what I'm saying? And eventually when you got to build a credit up and you ain't got no more dang electric bill to speak of. Now, if you finance the solar, you're going to have to pay that payment. But you're already going to have to pay the man anyway. He's going to have to pay either the power company or he's going to pay for the doggone solar. So if you go to the doggone solar panel company and tell them old crazy haired shazizz sent you, maybe they might try to support me a bit. Anyway, that's just the beginning. That doesn't even scratch the surface of what we're doing. I told everybody when I go completely off the power grid, I'm going to do it with style. It's going to make the news. I guarantee you that. You know, I got to fight with a power company, and I told them I'm going to study everything that there is to know about alternative energy. And when I get that accomplished, I'm going to share it with each and every one of your customers for free. And whenever you go broke, you're going to have me to blame for it. So, with that said, this system over here, that system over there, solar, wind, hydrothermal, electric, pulling power in from every doggone direction under the sun, including the sun. If you can't find free energy, you're not paying attention. It's that simple. Stop looking for all these freaking hoodoo, voodoo versions, different fancy tiled style coils and doggone geometry and all this crazy stuff right there. You've already got everything you need. Every dang thing you need to run the inefficient junk that we're doing right now. And I'll show you how to run it even better than before so that the stuff ain't getting hot and burning up. You don't need near the amount of power to do what you're doing. That solar panel array right there and other solar panel arrays right there are capable of producing so much more power than you can possibly imagine. You take the Slayer exciter circuit, go look up the Slayer exciter circuit. I put a copy of it on top of the dang deal. And that's just one little, it's like a 9-volt battery, a tip 42C transistor, resistor, and a diode. No big deal. And then you got some coils of wire. And you don't even got to count it out, man. Just throw a few coils of wire around there. Don't matter. It's nothing. There's no fancy stuff to it unless you want a transmitter and receiver to be at the exact frequency, the exact resonance, and you take the exact amount of turns on both of them, and now you have the exact same frequency range. Use a tuning capacitor, spark gap, whatever, you know. But with a tip 42C transistor, resistor, and a diode, and you fire that little Slayer exciter circuit, the wave is coming in and out so fast, rapidly, that it's literally energizing the gas in a fluorescent tube like this, wirelessly. This old burn-up tube, you can hear that sucker rattle, and I can still light it up with that dang circuit because this hasn't lost its gas inside there. It energizes that gas, and it'll light the dang thing up. It's a really super fast deal. And a lot of people are trying to figure out why it is they can't get that wireless energy to travel further, you know, travel further down the road. You know, they want to see how far you can get this thing to go. So they put more voltage to it because they don't seem to understand. Go look at how radio towers do it. Go look at radio waves, how they do it. You know, how you take this wave right here, you send the first one out, and then you send another one out, and it kicks that one, and it kicks that one, and kicks that one, and you get a larger range. It's a radio wave. That's all it is. What you got in your microwave oven is the same thing. It's a radio wave, man. It's a high frequency wave. All of this stuff right here, it's radiating, you know. The magnetic field coming off of there. You can pick up a magnetic field with something as simple as a wireless AC tester, which let me see if this thing is got any batteries left in it. Find a cord, a power cord. I need a power cord. And burn it. Don't got it here. Ah. Yeah. You can't even see that. Huh. All right. That wireless AC tester right there. Well, I can use that with that Slayer exciter circuit, you know, and there's just not enough power going out. That's the shielded wire right there. Anything that's AC, you'll pick it up with that. You can even stand outside about 20, 30 feet away from your power line and hold this thing up. Some of them's a little more sensitive than the others. Like this one's really super sensitive, and this one it's a little bit more. You got to get a little closer, but even that, you can still find out how far that magnetic field's actually coming out of a transformer, and you don't need that much power to be coming out of there. But anyway, all of it is so ridiculously simple. It's mind-blowing. You know, I could sit around for days and days and days and days and days and sit there and tell people, but if you don't listen to me, ain't no point. Ain't no point. If they say the world's doomed, then let's fix it. It's that simple. All right, so 20, 30, 40 years back, they said the world was coming to an end because of the hole in the ozone layer. I looked at them cross-eyed then. So many moons ago, they said that the CO2 level was causing the planet to heat up. And I'm like, yeah, okay. You go with that. Now it's changed because now they're not only stealing from you, they're teaching false science in school, and they're censoring guys like me who try to tell the doggone truth. So, look, let's give the devil his due, I guess. Let's humor him. So you say that there's a problem. We need clean, renewable, alternative energy. We need storage. We need all this. All right, so let's do it. What's taking so long? They spend millions of dollars giving it to the UN Climate Change Fund. The government wastes money hand over fist like it's going out of freaking style. Wish I had a credit card like that. Just, hey, man, you want some cookies? Hey, how about some sodas over there? You want some of that? Hey, man, you need a new Maserati? Dude, that's your government. Uncle Sam living high on the hog. He's got a freaking gold tooth. You got a freaking yellow tooth that's about to fall out because you can't get no dang dental work done. Can't afford it. It's going to take the average Joe. It's going to take the average Joe to get together to finish this thing off. That's it. I'll help you out. I'll give you every dang bit of what I got in this brain right here. All right? I may be crazy. I may have issues. I got memory problems. Everything that I got in my head right now, I had before I was freaking 17 years old. I paid attention in school. Somehow or another, I've been able to maintain that. I lost the short term. So, you know, I'm like the absent-minded professor. So if I start telling something and I forget or get distracted, I'll go somewhere else. But when it comes down to science, when it comes down to truth, I'm going to give it to you squared up. Ain't no more of this monkey business out there. That's why I call it mad science. I don't tolerate all these knuckleheads out there trying to misquote the laws of thermodynamics and physics. And, you know, if you want to get things done, Grandpa used to say, you want to get it done, you want to get it done right, get up and do it yourself. Well, I'm doing what I can. You see what I've done so far. I not only put videos together, I put radio shows together for you, give you a bit of everything on there. You got videos, you got radio, you got open invitation. Join me on the radio. Join me in the chat rooms over there. The problem is I spent all this money and time to get those chat rooms together, and very hardly anybody uses them. But if you go visit it, you want to support it, and that makes you like we're closer. We can talk to each other, and then you say, "Hey, man, I'm working on this project. What do you think?" And I'll say, "Yeah, that's I heard about some stuff like that that'll help you out." Virtual labs, you know, you're in your lab, I'm in my lab. We can sit here and do exactly what we're doing right now. I can see you, you can see me. Skype's a good tool for that, you know. And I get my camera down better, and I make some good videos and all that kind of stuff. And you know, we work on this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You know, I'm not going to tell you, go out and buy this for me and go out and buy that for me. No, I want you to buy it for yourself. I want you to have the mental and the physical and the financial, all that for yourself. If we decide to work on a project together, you reach in your pocket, I'll reach in my pocket. We'll see what we got in the middle, and that's what we'll work with. And we will win or we will fail together. I ain't going to ask for anything that I'm not willing to give. That's why I told you about this doggone mug that I'll try to make a fundraiser for. Cost me dang $11 to make this thing. Costs $11 to mail it. And so, you know, if I turn around and try to sell that for 20 or 30 bucks, I'm just trying to rip somebody off, man. You want a mug? You know, we'll figure out a way to get you a mug. But no, I'm not trying to sell people something that costs you dang $11 to make. Never mind. I'm just saying, I ain't trying to rip nobody off. But I want to figure out a way to do some sort of fundraiser so that I can get the money together, get all the things situated that I need to do, and get it done, get the job done. But, you know, I've tried the T-shirt route, and it's expensive as crap to buy T-shirts. It's expensive as crap to buy the mugs, and I'm working on some coins and stuff like that. If I can ever get them out to where I can send them out to a fair price, you know, you want to make a donation, I send you a mug, you know, that kind of thing like there. But it ain't going to be nothing like, you know, I'm selling this to you for $30 freaking dollars. I don't know how people could sleep at night after doing that to people, man. I'll tell you what, I'll make some sort of contest and I'll just give them away because it don't hurt my feelings none to give something to somebody who supports me just by watching my dang show. So maybe we'll turn it into a thing like that because I can still have them made. And you know, if you watch my videos and you go check out my website and we all become friends and all that kind of stuff, and you want a mug, I'll get you a mug, doggone it. That way we can sit there and drink our coffee with the same type of mug. Anyway, I don't know if I answered enough questions, and I apologize that I can't see that doggone. I got to figure out a way, while I got this up and running, I got to figure out a way that I can make those dang things, the words in there larger without jacking anything up, because these glasses ain't cutting it. Those glasses ain't cutting it. My new glasses ain't here in the mail. I'm getting old, folks. If I could just one dang time stand up in front of all these supposed environmentalist activists and just tell them what it is, then maybe we get something done. Because they can get out there and they can start a lot of crap, go out and burn down the community. How's that good for the freaking carbon footprint? Come on, man. If they cared about the doggone environment, really seriously cared about it, we have every single thing necessary to resolve every single problem under the sun. I've explained in my videos, I've explained in my dang podcast. If you go out there and listen to my podcast and you find one you like, send it around to your friends. I'm fighting with YouTube, I'm fighting with Facebook, I'm fighting with Twitter, I'm fighting with Google, I'm fighting with the power company, and I'm fighting with the trolls. And I'm fighting with the supposed college-educated geeks who think that they went to college and now I'm an electronics engineer. Yeah, you are, aren't you? Can you build a Slayer exciter circuit? What's that? I have no idea, do you? I didn't build that. I didn't even invent it. I understood how it worked right out of the gate. You know, a transistor isn't nothing more than a really fast switch. It's pulsing the power, you know. Knowing that, and knowing that you can ramp the voltage up, you lose the current in the ramping of the voltage because now it's a higher voltage, higher pressure, you know, lower voltage, you get more current, that kind of thing. Now that you got that little mechanics and that little physics, now you can turn around and start understanding what it is that I'm saying, where you can move this type of energy faster through this medium than you can this much current through that medium. It all start making sense to you. So I see old Honda in there, Honda 404. I've seen you for a while there, my friend. I wish I could read half of what y'all are saying in there. The neodymium magnet accelerator. Keep an eye on that one. I want you to have a prototype of that one. I want everyone to have one. And look, you can build it yourself. I'm just trying to get it done like I did this thing over here where you can see it really good, because I want you to be able to see the mechanics of what's occurring on there. I want to be able to, while I'm explaining this to you, I'm sitting there running mine and I'm showing you the cool trick about this thing, what's going on, and you got yours on your table. Now we have independent verification instantaneously. You and me, we both replicated it, and there's no one out there that can refute that. No way that they could turn around and say, well, that don't work. The heck you say? We got 50 people out there that say different, because 50 people have a copy of this prototype and they all know it. There's no way to put the cat back in the bag once it's out. Once Pandora's box is open up and you know it and I know it and everyone else out there knows it, then we could turn around and figure out multitudes of ways to turn it into jobs and financial gain for all. You know, when you get into trying to patent stuff, that's when they try to do you in. That's when they try to rip you off. And I told everybody and his brother out there, I will give you the idea for free just to build one prototype. You build me one prototype and you give me that one prototype as payment for what I tell you to build, and you make $1 million trillion off that thing, and I'm a happy camper, because now I got this working prototype in my hand that I can show everybody and his brother and say, I told you so. That's all I needed. But you know, folks didn't want to take the doggone leap of faith. They didn't want to try to make it. How long we been running on steam power? I think one of my dang, looks like one of my dang, maybe it's my glasses are crooked. Looks like one of my eyebrows were sitting down lower than the other. Maybe I had a freaking stroke. Let's get that hair going. I think I lost some in that one there. Anyway, I'm going to have to start wrapping this thing up. But I'm glad that this thing, I got this thing going. I had 3 computers crash, working on duct tape and baling wire, fighting with all the forces of darkness, trying to get my mad science lab together. If you want to support me, it's as simple. Come visit my website, Shazizz Radio, or just go to shazizz.com. It has links to everything. And when they try to tell you that my place is not secure and it's not safe, put it in your trusted doggone deal in your browser, because my place is safe. There ain't no doggone malware. There ain't no spyware. We're not trying to screw anybody over. We're not trying to rip anybody off. We're not trying to milk anybody for money. We're just trying to share some information with people. The same thing with peopleforpeople.ning.com. You go to my website, shazizz.com. It'll take you to shazizzradio.com. It'll take you to shazizz.net. There's a dang app that you can download for your phone if you want to listen to Shazizz Radio, you know, all that kind of jazz. And if you need some space to maybe put some, free energy or alternative energy information out for people, we'll help you out. We got plenty of room. Says here on doggone YouTube that I got 9,016 subscribers. I wish they would. I wish that was true. I wish they'd all come to the front, and I wish they'd start watching and listening to what I have to say. Bring them to the table. Bring a friend with you. If you want to fix this doggone world, you got to get it out of the hands of the crooks that are trying to sell you oil. Earlier, I said something crazy. I said, there is no such thing as fossil fuel. It's a lie. It's a flat out lie. We live in a carbon-based world. Everything out here is a fossil fuel. Sticks, bugs, freaking fish, and even you. You have the chemical makeup for crude oil. I'm surprised. Don't even tell them. Don't even give them that idea. They'll be turning us into crude oil just for speaking out. But there's pyrolysis, where you can turn things into biochar. There's gasification, plasma gasification. You can take all your garbage. You can recycle every dang thing that goes in your garbage can. It's nothing, absolutely zero waste going to the dump. We can reuse every single bit of everything that we do. It doesn't matter if you're burning firewood. There's a use for the ash. You just, all you did was change the chemical and molecular structure of the material. You didn't get rid of it. You burnt the firewood, and you're like, oh, the firewood's gone. No, it's not. It's actually still there. Just changed the shape. It's every element that ever was here in the beginning will be here in the end, unless somebody comes, takes it off of this world, takes it out of here. Then we might have a shortage. But you're never going to see a day when you run out of oil. You're never going to see a day when you run out of water. You're never going to see a day when you run out of food or any of that kind of stuff. So stop letting them scare the crud out of you, because you got every single resource necessary to ensure that every single person on this planet has everything they need to eat, and so on down the line. There's absolutely no reason for anyone to starve. There's absolutely no reason for anyone to be homeless unless they so choose to do so. There's absolutely no reason for people to be sick out there. They make money by keeping you sick. They make money by getting you mad and getting you in a fight and getting you thrown in jail, so you get fines and you get all this stuff going on. It's a scam. The whole entire system is a dang scam. You want to get it done? Let's get together. Let's get it done. I'll show you how to do it. You don't have to get violent. You don't have to get in an uproar. You just got to take your brain and work with your neighbor's brain and start cooperating. It's that simple. But we have more than enough resources on this planet to withstand. And then I don't care if you think the world's flat, round, dodecahedron, hollow, or whatever. We got enough resources on here to withstand 9 times the population. So don't let them try to pull that lie on you either. Anyone want to try to come together with a dang debate on this kind of stuff, and you want to sit there and show how cool you are and how brilliant your mind is, how much you know about science, and exercise your muscular terminology, your high-tech terminology, I'm going to make you look like a fool. Bring it on. Anyway, I'm going to get on up out of here. I'm going to try to light this cigar right here. You know, it's cutting down my O2 level. It's probably not healthy. You want to get healthy? You want to lose some weight? Then learn about body chemistry. Learn about body chemistry, because you're a machine. Your whole body. Folks, join me on my Mad Science show. Join me on the Knights of the Round Table. We talk about all kinds of stuff. We talk about everything under the sun and then some. And if you like aliens and space travel and interdimensional travel, if you like science, science fiction, science fact, if you like all, you name it, put a subject on the table, we got something to say. So join us over there. Go over there and tell those people at peopleforpeople.ning.com you said hi. Tell the people at Shazizz Radio. Jump over there in the chat room. Just throw a smiley face in there so I know you're serious about this and I want to keep on doing it. You know? That's like that Ed Grimley right there. It's a beautiful day, I must say. Anyway, it's getting freaking hot up in here, man. You got to turn the AC on. Use some more of that free electricity. I want to help you all out. I don't want you to have to pay an electric bill. Give me an opportunity to show you the truth about this. It's got to be done the right way. You know, these folks out here, don't go out there and buy no free energy plans. Do not go out there and pay anyone for any free energy plans. Do not do it. I'm going to give you what you want for free. Been trying to do that for a long time. Take what I said and look at it. Sit back and look at the big picture. Absorb it in. Water is a healing molecule. It's a destructive molecule. It's a fuel. Water is amazing. And that doesn't even scratch the surface of what I'm talking about. Between the water molecule, which is 3/4 of this earth, between the amount of land mass, between all the way that nature works, and every single piece of property that you're standing on right now, you will be amazed at what you find out is underneath your feet. I'll teach you how to make dirt. If you ain't figured out how to make dirt, I'll teach you how to make dirt. I'll teach you how to turn that dirt into fuel. I'll teach you how to turn old sticks and grass clippings into fuel. I'll teach you everything you need to know about science if you're willing to pay attention. But you got to get out from under the crackheads that they call the mainstream science, because they ain't got a dang clue about nothing. Neil deGrasse Tyson and that phony that they call, what the heck is that dude named? Bill Nye, the perverted science guy. That dude's a weirdo. And that's my opinion. If you don't like it, then come say something about it. You Bill Nye and Tyson or whatever. I wonder if Bill deGrasse Tyson can fight like Mike Tyson, because this old dude right here, I can throw him when I need to do it. All right, we'll go around. We can either work out mentally. We can either go brain on brain, mono e mono, or we can go to the knuckle junction, fist to cuff situation. Whatever it takes. But somebody's got to YouTube it, because we got to make some money. Get it on film. Send it viral. Dang it, we got to save the planet. You're on a mission. You got to get it done. I'll teach you about science. Just help me get it out there. Doggone it. Peace and love, everybody. I'm getting the heck off of here, man. I'm going to go, number one, get out of this hot room and go out there and enjoy some nature, man. Maybe take a nap. Oh, yeah, I still got to upload a podcast. Well, looks like I'll be in here a little bit longer, but I won't be on the live stream. Take care, everybody. Peace. Thanks for hanging out with me. And next time you see me pop up on there, bring a friend with you, if you don't mind. That's how you can support me. Go visit my website, shazizz.com, shazizz.com. It's got links to everything. If you can't find me, you ain't looking for me. And if you can't find free energy, you're not paying attention. Peace and love, everybody. Take care.